up to a set of lights and you see one of these next to you, just don't even bother. Just don't even entertain yourself, because you're going to embarrass yourself and you're going to lose. This is so fast. Hey guys, welcome to Aachen in Germany, the home of AC Schnitzer. I drove my M2 Competition down here last night. The reason I'm here is to try out their brand new M5 Competition based ACS5 Sport. That's a 5 series with 715 brake horsepower. We'll have a quick look around the headquarters of AC Schnitzer as well, because this is a dealership like no other. It's massive, it really is. We'll have a drive of the brand new ACS5 Sport, and we'll also have a look at my new pedals being fitted to my M2 Competition. First stop, let's head in and have a look at the ACS5 Sport, have a walk around before we get in it and drive it. Right then guys, I'm here with Marco from AC Schnitzer.
Hi guys.
He is going to help me with the walk around and talk to you guys, tell us all about what the changes are with the fantastic ACS5 Sport behind me that's based on the M5 Competition. So we're going to walk around the car, have a look at all the changes, then obviously we're going to take the car for a drive and talk about what it feels like, which I'm super excited about obviously. Right Marco, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's start here with the carbon fiber elements, which we have left and right. Additional to that, to have some more downforce, we will have our front splitter to go to the rear. We have our side skirts.
It flows really well, doesn't it? All fits together beautifully.
So that we continue the line from the front to the rear. And from here we have our chocolate side, let's say, because we have our carbon rear diffuser. We have an additional brake light system. We have several markets which are really interested in that.
Sure.
We are trying to get that homologated as well.
It's almost like an F1 car, hey?
Yeah, definitely. It's like a rain or fog light.
Yes,
so we have different functions on that. So it's a nice gadget for people which are more race addicted, let's say.
Sure.
We have our exhaust with carbon tailpipes, which are also really good matching to the carbon rear diffuser.
Yep.
Up to that we have our carbon rear wing.
Yep. And this, I've already had a few people asking me about this. This is obviously functional.
Yeah, it's really functionable. We have, when you drive more than 200 kilometers per hour, you will have more than 60 kilogram downforce on the rear.
Wow.
Just if you add the rear wing instead of a rear lip, let's say.
Yep.
So it's a good gadget when you're going on racetracks, also on all the other models.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Additionally to that, we have a small rear roof spoiler.
Yep.
To stretch the lines a bit more, to make it even more aggressive. Yeah, from the aerodynamic side, that's our package for the M5 and M5 Competition.
Yep.
I hope you like it.
I think pictures and video, it's one of those cars that they don't do it proper justice.
Yeah.
And when you're up close to it, everything works so well, everything flows so beautifully. In my opinion, it's enough OEM, but you've just improved on parts that need improving, and it just looks a bit more aggressive in certain areas where it needs to.
If we are talking about the suspension, for example, here we have two different options. We are working on that car here because it's on winter tires, as you can see. It's quite cold in Germany.
Yes, yeah.
It's lowered on the rear axle around 10 to 15 millimeters.
Yep.
To get it really good balance, and then when you go to the front axle, we have a lowering which is between 15 and 20 millimeters.
Okay.
If people with such a car like that are going to the racetrack, of course they can also order complete adjustable suspension from us. To perform the car on the racetrack a bit better.
Sure, okay.
To have a better performance on the racetrack. But for daily use, as Joe, he already drove the car.
Yeah.
He can say that it's really good balanced and matching, of course.
It's amazing, it really is. And it looks, so you've kind of kept the BMW stance, as it were. It's a bit lower on the front than it is on the back.
Yeah.
And these are actually, yeah, they're winter, so this is their winter wheel tyre setup, and they are the AC1s, the wheels that I've got on my car.
Yeah,
yep.
This is the same wheel which you got on your car, but for the M5, of course, we have also different wheel designs.
Sure.
Up to 3 or 4. So we have also a 21-inch wheel tire combination, forged wheels, cast wheels.
Yep.
It's completely up to you.
Yep.
That's an advantage from Schnitzer. The customer can always choose what they would like to have. We have not just one design.
Yeah.
We have, like in wheels, plenty of designs.
Sure. And I've seen the, is it the 21s that come on this with the Summers?
Yep,
yeah.
exactly.
I mean, they look very, very special.
Yeah. I
But
think one size more suits the car also very well.
Yeah.
Of course, we do not have the same rest comfort as with 20 because tire size are 1 inch bigger.
Yep.
But it's also a good compromise. Also, the wheels are a bit lighter because they are forged.
Yeah.
And step the car also very well.
Nice. Okay, and I guess we need to talk about the power upgrade because 616 brake horsepower is not enough.
Correct.
Right? Is that slow?
So that's one of our main business, let's say, what we are doing. So we put an engine upgrade on.
Yep.
We have 710 brake horsepower and 850 Newton meters.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't already experienced it on the way down here, but it's, I mean, those figures are just, they're insane, but
they are really insane.
Obviously with the X-Drive these days and stuff, it actually it somehow manages to put it down with no issues. It's an incredible, you know, I wouldn't fancy 700 horsepower in the old F10 rear wheel drive. I think you'd need to be a pretty good driver to control that. Any other changes we need to know about? Obviously you got this, the traditional.
We have also rear skirt protection,
yeah,
because anyone knows if you're going with glass bottles and try to lift it inside the trunk, then we have also a small rear skirt protection for it.
Sure.
It's not the biggest package, but it's also nice to have.
Yeah, it's almost like a bit of a trademark as well. And I think Tim told me that this adds about 10 brake horsepower as well, the sticker.
50.
50? Oh, okay. Nice. And inside the car, there is one very special thing inside this car. And it's always, well, there's two. It's always the small details that I absolutely love. And when you step in here, I don't know if you can spot it already, but it's these paddles, and they are absolutely lovely. And I've talked recently in my videos, I've been in a couple of the Alphas recently, and I love the big aluminium shift paddles that you get in the Alfa Romeos. I really like them. They're like the Ferrari ones. And then when you jump back in a German car, BMW or an Audi, the little plastic paddles, they kind of feel a bit inadequate and they're just not quite there. And these are like a halfway house. They're just lovely bits of thin aluminium, but they feel great in the hand, and also it's just a bigger area to sort of control and grab.
Exactly.
And I just love them. And again, they look OEM, like they look like they're designed to be there, but they also look special, special enough that you know that they are sort of an aftermarket part. And obviously you've got the lovely pedal covers down there. It is one of the best, if not the best, interior on the planet. And these seats are just unbelievable. So it's not like you need to change anything else in here, but the guys at AC Schnitzer have just, you know, changed a few bits that needed attention and left everything else BMW, which is already at its absolute best. Fantastic. Cool.
Interesting as well is also that we have for our performance upgrades a country-specific warranty, which started in Germany, for example, for 3 years from the first registration.
Yep.
Also in the UK or wherever you are. So you're always on the most safetiest side when it comes to engine upgrades with our engine upgrades. Yep.
Sure. And I mean, you can't stress how important that is, especially in a car like this. I dread to think how much that would be. Is it the S63 engine in there, 4.4 litre bi-turbo V8? God, they must be about 50,000 euros. I mean, we know that AC Schnitzer and people like Alpina, they all work very closely with BMW, and they don't tread on each other's toes, and they all keep it warranty friendly, which is obviously very important when you're spending this much money on a car like that. Marco, one more thing I wanted to ask you about actually was the dreaded exhaust issues that we're having all over the place at the moment. The PPF filter that I have in my M2. In fact, someone called my M2 a Tesla yesterday, so I'm not too happy about that. But can you tell us how are AC Schnitzer getting around the issue? Because obviously there's different markets, different rules.
As you may know, we are working in 60 countries right now, and not
60 countries. Wow,
yes,
okay.
60 countries.
Yeah.
And not all of them are owning an OPF or PPF, like you said.
Yep.
So that means, for example, Middle East, USA, Russia, for example, they don't have an OPF.
Yep.
So this car, as we are based in Germany, it has.
Yep.
That's really important to know in our development, because
Sure.
when it comes to the exhaust, we will offer 3 different versions of exhaust for that car. So like the car is equipped now with an export version, just a rear silencer,
Yep.
so the OPF or PPF is still working. Then you will get it homologated. We have also an homologated version. This one is an export version, and for people which would like to have more Armageddon, let's say, because
Yeah, that's...
really, really loud. We are working also with sound pipes.
Yep.
So the middle center section will be removed with the OPF seats.
Okay.
And then you will have a full exhaust, catback exhaust.
A full screamer.
Yeah, a full screamer, let's say.
Right, well, I think the next thing is to jump in it and take it for a drive, really.
Yeah,
you know?
I would say you need to start it up for your client.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, would you mind? I'll jump in and you can hold that.
Of course.
I'll just jump in and give you a nice start.
So flaps are now closed.
I'll just let it idle for a second, because sometimes it takes a while, hey?
Yep.
That's insane. Yeah, it's loud enough. It's loud enough, but it sounds really good. It
Yep.
sounds yeah. You've got what the standard car is, and you've improved upon the sound. And also one other thing with the exhaust is, while we're driving down here, I noticed that when you have the exhaust valves closed and everything's in comfort, you can't hear anything. You can't hear any exhaust sound. It just goes quiet, which to me is always a big thing. I always talk about that on my channel. It's all very well having a loud exhaust that's great, sounds good when you're pushing on, but when you're on a long, boring motorway drive like I was yesterday, the last thing you want is a drony thing in the cabin. So really, really good exhaust system. Right then guys, I'm now inside the ACS5 Sport, the one that is based upon the M5 Competition. Let's take it for a drive and see what it's all about. I've got to remind you quickly that I am on winter wheels and winter tyres, so I'm not going to get the precise feel that I would do if it was on summers, but just driving down here I've been amazed at how good it actually feels on the softer winter tyres. Yeah, I've got Marco just sitting next to me.
Cheers.
He's probably just in shot, so yeah, he's my walking encyclopedia in case I need to sort of get some facts and figures off him. So yeah, let's head off. We haven't got long. It's a grey February day outside, but at least it's not raining, so I can't complain. Right, so I'm putting it in drive. I'm going to start off with everything in comfort. So the throttle mapping and stuff in efficiency, the suspension in comfort, so the softest setting, and the steering in comfort, which I like anyway across all my cars in BMW, because I think Sport Plus is just too heavy, isn't it, these days, in my opinion. Maybe I'm not strong enough, I don't know. But anyway, right, let's head off. I'm going to have the exhaust, in fact no, exhaust closed for now, just for the first part of the journey. I'll get on the right side of the road. I've got to remember I'm not in the UK. And let's put it back into drive. There we go. So pulling away in drive, and what I discovered on the way down here, which is really important for me, maybe it's because I'm getting on a little bit, but also I think it's very important for the M5 or the AC Schnitzer M5 buyer, is that when this car is in comfort and in normal modes, it feels like a very comfortable 5 Series, and that's it's very hard to make a car that is very, very good on the limit and a sports car, and something that also gives you the comfort and pliancy that you kind of expect in an M5 based car. Now, talking about the way AC Schnitzer operate, they're very different to say someone like Alpina. Now Alpina sell you their finished product. They sell you a complete car. So you go out and you buy, say, a B3S, and that is their version of, say, a 340i. Whereas AC Schnitzer sell you individual packages or parts. So you don't necessarily, like with my M2 Competition, at the moment I've got the AC Schnitzer lowering springs, I've got the AC1 wheels. I could continue, I could get the, you know, there's a number of things that I could get, and some stuff that I've learned about today. There's so many endless products that you can actually buy for your car, albeit, you know, a 2 Series or an M5. So this particular car is based upon the M5 Competition, which I recently reviewed and I personally thought was about as crazy as a car could get. You know, it was so fast and so sharp and just ridiculous. 615 odd brake horsepower. When the guys at AC Schnitzer told me about this car, I just couldn't prepare myself. I just didn't understand why anyone would want another 100 brake horsepower and how that would translate to the car, because you add too much power to something, it can ruin the whole experience. You know, it could ruin the car itself, it could ruin its everyday drivability. And the reason I've started in the drive mode is because I was looking at their dyno charts on this car and on the normal M5, and in fact everything below about 2,500 RPM, it's basically the same as the stock car. So it's so drivable. It's only when you start kicking its ass that it becomes an absolute animal. As I touched upon already, it's actually quite difficult to gauge exactly what the ride and feel of the car is going to be like, because we are on winter tyres and we're on slightly smaller wheels. This one's on 20s now?
Yep, correct.
And the full package normally comes with 21s,
yeah,
right?
21 inches.
Okay, so you'd expect the ride to be a bit harsher. Obviously the stiffer sidewall tyre and the smaller wheel. But in this setup, it's limo-like. It's very, very comfortable, and I'm really, really impressed. But anyway, enough about the comfort and, you know, the boring stuff. Let's talk about what this car's very, very good at, and that is going very fast and feeling very composed. So I'll ramp some of these settings up. I haven't got my M buttons set because I've only jumped in this car today, but we'll play with these individually. So like all M cars, you have the throttle mapping, so I'm going to put that into Sport Plus. Obviously opens the valves of the exhaust, I think, still. Well, I've opened them as well. So let's put the suspension into Sport, not Sport Plus. And the steering, we'll leave that in Comfort. Knock that over into manual. Oh, these beautiful paddles. I mean, they are really good. I mean, they feel fantastic. And I'm leaving the X-Drive in 4-wheel drive. I'm not going to do any crazy drifting or anything today because we are on summers. Not because these boys didn't want me to, but I'm going to come back in the summer and we're going to go a bit crazier then. Now put my foot down. That's 5th gear. Oh my god! It's literally, it's so fast and above 5. My goodness gracious! My armpits literally just suddenly went completely wet then. It has that effect. I'm sure over time you'd become a little bit used to the power, but like the M5 Competition, the regular one, I never got used to that in 1 week. So this, oh, that was a big drift. Did you see that? It was a huge drift.
Yeah.
But this is just, it's unbelievable. The pickup, the power, oh, it's just fantastic. Someone else has got a drone going. But it's so drivable. But when it gets, to me, it feels very regular M5 Competition up to about 3.5, and from there on, it just, it's like it comes on cam. It's like it comes on song. It's just unbelievable. Let's head down here and have a look down this road. Oh, listen to that exhaust. Doesn't it? Be careful. These aren't the narrowest roads, but obviously I'm driving a left-hand drive car, which is not the smallest car in the world, so just got to take it a bit easy. Yeah, you wouldn't want to meet someone coming through here. What a machine. What a machine. now inside the AC Schnitzer workshop, and there's all sorts going on in here. There is the design studio up there that I've just been in. I'll overlay some shots from that. It's absolutely beautiful up there, the desk and everything, the history of all the cars. Such an amazing place to visit and an experience. I can't believe I've actually been up there. But in the workshop now, you can see a familiar car behind me, my car. They very kindly fitting the pedal set that I got about a month ago. I initially thought they just kind of stuck on, but there's a bit more to it. When they offered and said that they would fit them, I thought, why not come down, bring my car to the actual AC Schnitzer workshop and get the pedals fitted. So that's happening behind me. It's a good chance for me to have a quick look under the car, just make sure everything's good, check out the amazing winter tyres that I've got on, and have a closer look at the wheels that I've got fitted, etc. But there's some really nice cars in here. There's some customer cars, some lovely 5 Series Tourings that are mostly getting body kit, suspension and engine tuning as well. What I didn't realise was AC Schnitzer also do parts like wheels, exhausts and stuff from motorbikes. I had no idea about that, so really interesting seeing some bikes parked in here and yeah, seeing their wheel designs and stuff for those things. Anyway, let's go and check out how the pedal set's going on in my car, and then we'll jump back into the fantastic ACS5. Right then guys, the pedals are fitted. Thanks to Mr. Matthias over there. Thanks a lot, buddy. Yeah, he just got me in the driver's seat, made sure that everything was set perfectly, because obviously there's a small amount of adjustment that you can do with the pedals, but what I'm most excited about just sitting here in the stationary car is when my foot is on the brake pedal, I can actually rest it on the side, so I can use half my sole effectively and get a real good heel and toe, and I can tell immediately that it's going to be very good for that, which is not something that I thought of before, but it is definitely going to help me with that, so really excited. So let's just talk about performance figures quickly. We've got a 0 to 60 time of under 3 seconds just. I mean, I know the M5 Competition, the regular one, magazines have tested that 2.9, so you could probably knock off another couple of tenths on this. But it's more about speeds above that, because obviously up to, even with X-Drive, you're kind of traction limited up to about 60 miles an hour. It's once you get above that, and in fact this does 0 to 200 kilometers an hour, which is 124, 125 miles an hour, in 9.6 seconds. Now 9.6 seconds used to be a pretty fast time for a family saloon to do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, let alone 200 kilometers an hour. We're talking 2 tons of limousine. It's just, those performance figures are ridiculous. Its top speed is unlimited, and when I say unlimited, wait for the drift, wait for the drift, wait for the drift. Its top speed is unlimited.
Yeah, it's around 340. 340,
okay, yeah. And I wouldn't at all argue with that, because on the way down here, I saw about 290 kilometers an hour, and it was still pulling so hard at that sort of speed. So top speed 340 kilometers an hour, whatever that is in miles an hour, 210 miles an hour or something.
Could be, yeah.
Just ludicrous, absolutely. Not that you need to know that back in the UK, but if you live in Germany, you are the boss of the Autobahn in this car, you really are. The torque is just crazy. 6th gear, 2.5. Acceleration, honestly, I can't begin to explain how fast this car is. And I know I go on about top speeds a lot and power of cars, but this thing is, it's in another league. This is a supercar beater in a straight line, especially this time of year. It just lays its power down, no issue, no worries whatsoever. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. But the magic thing about this car for me is the fact that on the motorway earlier on, you've got the aero, you could feel the aero working. Everything about the car is purposeful. And the rear wing, as we talked about when we walked around the car, you know, that gives you 60 kilos of downforce. So what, 200 kilometers now?
Yeah, it's over 200. Yeah, we measured that on the M2.
Right.
We have a TÜV measurement over that, and that was more than 60 kilogram more downforce.
Wow.
Over 200. Yeah.
Which makes a huge difference. And obviously the front splitter, I could feel the front splitter. I could feel how, even in a car like an F90 M5, when you get over 200 kilometers an hour, you do feel the car getting a bit lighter normally without sort of too much aero. But the front splitter on this thing is it just keeps the car absolutely planted and so secure for those high-speed runs. But as a package, everything just comes together and works so well. I'm absolutely in love with this car. I wanted an M5 Competition in my dream garage. Now things have just got more expensive and I want one of these. And I'm not just saying that. This thing is just, it's unbelievable. It really is stunning. I think the next thing we need to do is head out onto the Autobahn. We'll see if we can get some high-speed runs, but at least I can talk you through it, because earlier on I managed to get a nice high-speed run. But before we do that, I'm going to jump to me having a wander around the AC Schnitzer headquarters and the massive dealership where I started this video, and then you can join us back on the motorway. So as I was talking about earlier on, this facility is absolutely massive. So we've got the AC Schnitzer workshop behind me where we've just been. We've got wash bays and quick service bays. We've got the paint shop and quick detail and repair stuff there. We've got massive car parks behind with cars that are getting serviced, used cars. There's JLR here, as I say, so you've got Jaguar, Land Rover, but the predominant and main dealership that I'm heading to obviously is BMW, which has got the AC Schnitzer attached to it. It's also got Mini, as you'd expect in the UK. But the Motorrad, so the motorbike department, is absolutely massive. And not just motorbikes, the physical bikes where they have 300 or 400, I'd say. You've also got all the accessories, so you know, all the jackets and the boots and all the stuff that you need to be a safe biker. But this place is just, it is really ridiculous. Just to give you an idea of size, that building in the background is part of theirs, which is a restaurant. And that's actually below the restaurant is where the AC Schnitzer offices are, etc. But it just stretches and stretches, so that's all the dealership. We're at the back of the dealership at the moment, so there's not much to see. But then you've got JLR over there, you've got, you can see some Range Rovers down there. That's a lot of their used cars, and there you can see the brands all together, which is really unusual. So when you're in the workshop, you've actually got BMW down one side, and then you've got Jaguar Land Rover down the other side. And when you go into their service department and their spare parts, it's just really stunning. You've got a proper canteen or cafe, all the accessories, but look, Land Rover, BMW. It's so bizarre, I can't get my head around it. Obviously winter tyres, they are compulsory over here in Germany, especially if it's snowing and stuff. If you have an accident and you don't have winter tyres on, you are stuffed out here. So, but obviously they have colder climates than we do back home in the UK. And then we've got, this is the main BMW dealership. Oh yes, one of my favourite BMW cars. In fact, my absolute favourite. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Oh, what a car. What a car. Lots of lovely minis. And now this is all the AC Schnitzer performance stuff. So, all the accessories, spare parts are here. Exhaust tips, splitters, and then all the wheel options here. So there's mine, the AC1. I mean, they look massive. They look like 23s. Obviously, probably for an X5. And then this behind me is the ACS5 Sport. So this is based on the normal F90 M5. 700 horsepower. And this went around the ring in 729, so the full ring, 729. So it's the fastest M5 and one of the fastest four-door saloons. And we head through to the motorbike section. And as you can see, this place is ridiculous. So that is the building with the restaurant on the top, which you can't really see from here, but there are literally hundreds and hundreds of bikes here. And a couple of floors of accessories. Literally everything under one roof. And in fact there is a Harley Davidson dealership just in the corner down there as well, so yeah, look at it. Baron von Grumble, eat your heart out, mate. And then we're going up to the AC Schnitzer level. How cool is this? I came up here earlier on and I was just like, oh my god, that car looks familiar. That's so cool. And then this is the AC Schnitzer level where all the magic happens. There's awards everywhere. The original AC Schnitzer Alloys. Can you remember those? 14-inch. When I first saw this, I thought it was actually a model of the original wheel, but that is actually the original wheel. Just shows you how much wheels have grown. It's 14-inch and 22. Look at the difference in size. And these tools, I can't demonstrate on the camera, but they just demonstrate what difference wheel weight makes. The centrifugal forces, you spin them up and you basically hold these axles, and it just demonstrates that, yeah, heavy wheel, how it fights with the centrifugal forces in terms of turning. You don't feel it so much in a car these days because of all the servos and the electronics, but the force that it's putting throughout the car is amazing. It just shows you, it makes you appreciate what a lightweight wheel does over a heavy wheel. Really cool. And here are some of the iconic AC Schnitzer cars from '87, so over 30 years ago, up till the present. Obviously this is the new 8 Series that a lot of people came back from the Essen show just raving about. Even people had contacted me that haven't been AC Schnitzer fans in the past, are just literally dribbling over this car, and for the right reason. It is really, they've just nailed it on the head with this one. Really cool. Believe the pull it's got. Like 6th gear, you put your foot down and it just pulls like a train, like a ridiculous train. Oh my god. If you pull up to a set of lights and you see one of these next to you, just don't even bother, don't even entertain yourself, because you're going to embarrass yourself and you're going to lose. This is so fast, and obviously you've got the X-Drive traction, which is just ridiculous, and we're on winters today, so it just feels unbelievable. I mean, I want to try one of these in the summer on some proper tyres, because it would just be devastating, but my god, I have to reset my mind. My M2 is going to feel so slow after stepping out of this. Unbelievable. Wow. I've had such a good day today. It's really been amazing, and I really appreciate it from you.
Thank you very much for
obviously
coming.
Oliver and all the AC guys that I met today. It's just been such an experience.
Pleasure for us as well to have you here.
Yeah.
To show you everything, get some impressions behind our brand.
Yep.
About the relationship with our dealer, the BMW dealer, which is quite important for us.
Sure.
So yeah, you definitely need to come back.
Definitely, yeah. I've been educated big time today. I thought I knew a fair amount about your brand, but now I understand loads, and just seeing everything working together under one roof is enough to explain it to me. Right then, guys, I'm going to sign off from today's video, today's drive, today's experience at AC Schnitzer. It's been an awesome day and I really appreciate it. So thanks a lot, guys. I massively appreciate it. Had the best day ever. And I can't wait to do more with AC Schnitzer once the summer arrives. Yeah, they're going to be happy days. So please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave any comments and questions below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. I'll also leave any details about AC Schnitzer in the UK and the main German website below, and so if you've got any questions and stuff, feel free to fire those guys some questions over on email.
Of course. Thanks for watching.
Yes.
And see you next time.
Yay! Thanks, perfect. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.